there, everybody. Welcome to Altered Heart. Today, we're going to begin a series looking at Christian deceptions and the landmines that surround us. It's hard to imagine a single piece of metal, probably no larger than 2 feet by 2 feet, that has the ability to destroy pretty much anything that comes into contact with it, including military tanks. They annihilate whatever is nearby, and the slightest pressure can detonate them. By the time a landmine is uncovered, it's usually too late to get out of the way. It's stealth in its placement, which makes it all the more sinister and deadly. And I bet you're wondering what landmines have to do with being a Christian or Christian deceptions. 1 Peter 5:8 says in the Amplified, "Be well balanced, temperate, sober of mind. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. For that enemy of yours, the devil, roams around like a lion roaring in fierce hunger, seeking someone to seize upon and devour." We have an enemy who will stop at nothing to prevent us from living for Jesus Christ and living a victorious life. Satan is convinced that if he can accomplish his goals, we will become discouraged and fearful and want to give up. A disarmed, discouraged believer who's fallen into the dust of defeat, suffocated by guilt and shame, is no threat to him. Satan loves to place landmines in the paths of Christians. His most devastating weapons of warfare are barely visible. They lay hidden beneath the surface of our spiritual landscape. And when we move in their direction, they explode beneath us, inflicting deep heartache, sorrow, and brokenness. When we step on one of the enemy's landmines, the explosion that follows usually affects our relationship with God, with others, and it even affects our personal testimony. How many have been a casualty of one of those landmines? They explode beneath us, altering the way we live our lives. And in our pain, we miss out on the joy of experiencing God's richest blessings. When we come across landmines, it can end in one of two ways. Either there's a spiritual victory and we grow closer to the Lord, or we experience the pain of Satan's deception and begin a downward spiral that leads to feelings of regret, sorrow, anger, frustration, and if left unchecked, depression. Most physical landmines are hard to spot, but God will give us the ability to uncover and disarm the spiritual landmines the enemy has laid in our path. And the way he does that is arming us with the truth, God's truth. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says in the Amplified, "For no temptation, no trial regarded as enticing to sin, no matter how it comes or where it leads, has overtaken you and laid hold on you that is not common to man. That is, no temptation or trial has come to you that is beyond human resistance, and that is not adjusted and adapted and belonging to human experience, and such as man can bear. But God is faithful to his word and to his compassionate nature, and he can be trusted not to let you be tempted and tried and essayed beyond your ability and strength of resistance and power to endure. But with the temptation, he will always also provide you the way out, the means of escape to a landing place, that you may be capable and strong and powerful to bear up under it patiently." When we practice the principles written in God's word, we can experience true freedom from the wounds we have received from the boom of the landmine. Now, before we give Satan too much credit, our flesh man is no innocent bystander. Our flesh man sabotages us too, putting landmines in our path when he wants his way. Landmines that lead to selfishness and self-interest. Galatians 5:16 through 18 in the Message says, "My counsel is this: live freely, animated and motivated by God's Spirit. Then you won't feel the compulsions of selfishness. For there is a root of sinful self-interest in us that is at odds with a free spirit, just as the free spirit is incompatible with selfishness." These two ways of life are antithetical. so that you cannot live at times one way and at times another way according to how you feel on any given day. Why don't you choose to be led by the Spirit and so escape the erratic compulsions of a law-dominated existence? In this series, we're going to uncover some of the more dangerous and disabling landmines and Christian deceptions. Landmines that left uncovered or left covered can lead to horrendous consequences. We need to know how to detect, identify, and protect ourselves from the destruction that comes as a result of these. Tune in for the next video in this series. Thanks and have a great day.